Hi, year one. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. See, this week is going by quickly. It'll be half term before you know it. Let's get started on our reading lesson today. All right, so we're going to have a look to start with at your work from yesterday. So if you can get out your answers that you wrote down for yesterday's retrieval and a different color pen or pencil, then we'll take those up together first. So remembering always our rules of retrieval. So be a word detective. Did you go back in the story and find the clue words from the question? Number 2, we then read around the clue word. So we read the whole sentence. 3, reflect, think. Does that sentence answer your question? Do you know what it was asking now? And 4, if you're still stuck or you need a little extra reassurance, you can check the pictures to see if they help to show you what you need to see. So remembering that when we get our questions wrong, we don't think, oh no, I got it wrong. Oh well. We have a think, did I follow all these steps? Because if you didn't get the answer right, you might have missed one of these steps. So let's have a look. Number 1, why didn't Sophie's mummy know what to do? Why didn't she know what to do? A, because there was a big mess. B, because she was afraid of the tiger. Or C, because the tiger had eaten all the food. And just remembering that we don't only get our answers from the picture, because if you look at the picture, you can see, oh, there's a big mess. But we have to look at the text as well. What is the author saying? So Sophie's mummy said, I don't know what to do. I've got nothing for Daddy's supper. The tiger has eaten it all. So we can probably say that the best answer is C, because the tiger had eaten all the food. So yes, there was a big mess in the room, but we know from reading the text that it was because the tiger had eaten all the food that she didn't know what to do for Daddy's supper. So if you thought it was a big mess, it's not untrue, it's just not the best answer. And when we're doing retrieval, we're always looking for the best answer, the one that is said in the text. Number 2, Sophie found that she could not, we have to finish the sentence, A, have a shower, get a drink, or have a bath. And the answer is C, have a bath. And again, if we just looked at the picture, we could see that she was in the bathroom. So we might choose shower because we know that shower is often in the bathroom. So we might say, oh, it's a shower, but we need to look at the text as well to see that it says she couldn't have her bath. Number 3, why couldn't Sophie have a bath? And we said yesterday, if the question starts with why, often the answer should start with because. So why couldn't Sophie have a bath? Because, look, we've got that because right in the sentence. The tiger had drunk all the water in the tap. So we can honestly find and copy that question because the tiger had drunk all the water in the tap. See, if you're a good retrieval detective, retrieving isn't so hard because you're really just looking and finding the answer. You don't have to come up with it yourself too often. Number 4, what happened next in the story? So following them in order, we've got Sophie in the bathroom, and then, just then, Sophie's daddy came home. So what happens next? Sophie's daddy came home. Now you could just say daddy came home because it says in the story daddy came home. But we've talked about in class, especially Shania, we're always talking about this in class, and Mariah and Davina, and really all of you really, I would say, need to be doing this. But we're often saying we have to challenge ourselves to add more detail from the story. So we could say daddy came home, that's true. But if we say Sophie's daddy came home, that's even more detail from this story. So that'd be even better. And number 5, what do you think Daddy will say about the tiger? So this is not a retrieval question. You're not going back in the story. This is a predicting question. So you're making a guess. What do you think Daddy will say about the tiger? And I can't wait to see all your answers. I think some of you, I have seen a few of them already. So some of us said, he'll say, oh no, where did this mess come from? Someone else said he'd say, oh, I'm hungry, where's dinner? So a very good, I can't remember who sent it in, but someone said Daddy might say, let's solve this problem, which I of course love because I love problem solvers. But you can have any answer, it's your own prediction. Maybe just not something that isn't related to the story. So if Dad came in and said, let's go jump on the trampoline, probably not related to the story about the tiger coming to tea. So it has to be a prediction about the story, but you can come up with anything you want as long as it's related to the story. And number 6 is find and copy a word that means a meal you eat in the evening. So going through it, we have to think, okay, a meal you eat in the evening. Sophie's mummy said, I don't know what to do. I've got nothing for daddy's supper. So supper is a meal you eat in the evening. Perfect. So total up your ticks, see if you got 6 out of 6. If you didn't, that's okay. But remember those rules for retrieval so that you can help yourself for your retrieval this time. And let's move on to our new work. So again, those rules for retrieval. We're word detectives. We go back and find the clue words in the story. We read the whole sentence around the clue word. And we think, does that sentence answer our question? And lastly, we would check the pictures to help us. We don't check the pictures first. We check them after we tried to read it. All right. So I'm going to let you pause the screen and have a go at reading this page independently first. Because remember at school, day 1 is retrieval with a bit of support. Day 2 is retrieval where you're reading the text by yourself. So I'm going to let you pause it, have a go at reading the next few pages, and then I will read it to you just because we're not in school and we can't read it together. And then the next page. And I love this page. Beautiful illustration. Great. Remember, if you've practiced it through once, that's not enough. We need to read it 2-3 times to help us build our fluency, okay? And the more you practice this, the easier it will be, and you won't have to read things 2 or 3 times because you'll be able to zoom through them really quickly with your reading. But just like anything else, to be a good reader takes practice. So I'll go back so you can pause it again. Excellent. I'm glad to see you practicing, and I love seeing your videos that you send in. It'd be really fun. I'm going to save the first video you send me, and I'll save the last one you send me, and you can watch them both, and you can really see how much your reading has changed from the start of this book to the end of it, because you've been practicing every day. So really good work. So I'm going to read it to you now. So Sophie and her mummy told him what had happened, and how the tiger had eaten all the food and drunk all the drink. And Sophie's daddy said, I know what we'll do. I've got a very good idea. We'll put on our coats and go to a cafe. So they went out in the dark, and all the street lamps were lit, and all the cars had their lights on, and they walked down the road to a cafe. Lovely. I like the little cat. Do you notice the colors on the cat? Do you notice his stripes, what he looks like? That's right, he looks like a tiger. Do you think Judith Kerr did that on purpose? I think she did. I think you have to look closely in the pictures. Right. So now it's your chance to answer the questions. So remember, we always go back to the text to help us answer them. And I'm going to read them out to you so you know what they are. You don't have to write the question down. You just have to write the answer down. And make sure that you're following those retrieval steps. Even if you think, oh, I can remember this from my reading, it's good practice for you to go back and still check and be a detective, because someday in year 2 or year 3, you might be reading something that's just quite tricky and you'll really need to use those skills. So it's a good idea for you to practice those retrieval strategies. That's what we're learning today. So number 1, what did Sophie and her mummy tell Daddy? Daddy came in. What did they tell him? Number 2, what didn't Sophie's daddy say? A, I know what we'll do. B, what a disaster. Or C, I've got a very good idea. So which one of those things didn't he say? So remember when we say we're looking for something a character said, or if it says say, you're going to be looking for that word like said or asked or shouted or some kind of verb that tells us that the character is speaking. So look for that with Sophie's daddy. What did he say, daddy said, and have a look inside that passage and see if you can find out what didn't he say. Number 3, where was the family going? Where was the family going? Number 4, what did they have to do before they went to the cafe? What did they have to do before they went to the cafe? Before and cafe would be 2 good clue words. Number 5, Why do you think they were going to a cafe? So this is not a question, and in the brackets you can see I put in the parenthesis inference. So this isn't our retrieval. We're not going back to the text for that one. This is where you get to have a think. So you know the story so far. So why do you think they were going to a cafe? Why did they have to go? You can write your own answer for that one. And number 6, true or false? True or false? It was light out when they went to the cafe. It was light out when they went to the cafe. True or false? So lots of different kinds of questions today. And I did give you lots of questions where you couldn't just circle the right answer, where you have to go and find it and record it. So really good retrieval questions. And one inference question, which is where you get to use what you know from the story to try and find the reason or to explain it. So some really good challenges for you today. Remember, we are practicing those retrieval skills. So you want to be following those steps when you're solving your reading questions today. And tomorrow we will have a go at taking it up together. So you're doing a great job. It's super reading practice. I'm so pleased that I see so many of you sending in your reading every single day. I know it's our lesson that's after lunch. I know sometimes we can get a bit tired if we've done our morning lessons, but I'm so pleased and so proud that so many of you are sending in, still doing that reading lesson. It's so important, and I do check it every day. So well done to all of you who are joining in with it. You're going to be amazing, excellent readers, and you can read any book you want. That's the best bit. You can read any book about anything you want. But I could just keep chatting with you all day, really. Now I need to let you go and do your independent work. So lovely time doing your reading questions, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.